All right, welcome back to the Pillars of Empowerment trainings, where we're unleashing your most confident, fulfilled, and authentic self, one pillar at a time. Today, we're diving into the third pillar of empowerment, which is intuition. And this is personally my favorite one. So let's be honest, the world can feel pretty loud sometimes. Society's expectations, to-do lists a mile long, pings and dings from various devices. It's easy to get lost in the noise and disconnect from our inner wisdom. But guess what? You have a powerful superpower just waiting to be unleashed. And this is your intuition. Intuition matters now more than ever before. So, intuition is the gateway to inner peace, ultimate clarity, and complete confidence within. Think of intuition similarly as our self trust as that internal GPS for a world that's gone a little haywire. It's that gut feeling, that hunch, whispering guidance directly from your heart. This may sound familiar, as we touched on in video one on self trust. And that's because self trust and intuition go hand in hand. They work together. They are best friends. They are sisters. They work together to give you the wisdom that you need to take the next step. And then the clarity and the bravery to actually take it, right? So, in a world that's obsessed with logic and hustle, reclaiming your intuition is an act of fierce rebellion, which is super fun to me. It's about prioritizing your well being and living life from a place of deep authenticity. I have come to rely on my intuition to lead me in every situation I encounter. And recently, I let my intuition guide me to in our home search, which actually turned out to be a super, super fun and rich experience because of my intuition. So we had been looking for a few months in early 2022. The market was nutty, if you remember. We were beginning to feel very discouraged, both with the inventory that was available, our own financial needs, and just constantly getting beat out on offers that were 20 to 50,000 above asking. Insane. So it was becoming a very draining, heartbreaking, miserable experience. So my husband and I just together decided that we were going to take a break and focus on just appreciating the home that we had. And then one day I was just scrolling through Zillow, looking at houses just kind of for fun that I had previously marked as interesting. And there was one that I was just kind of curious to see. The design piqued my interest. It honestly just kind of looked like a cute home, even though I had no real intention of being interested in it. It didn't mark a ton of boxes. We thought we wanted kind of this open concept, something a little newer. It wasn't really what we had been looking for previously. I didn't even really know why I wanted to see it though. It didn't, again, check many of those boxes. It was also at the top of our price range at the time, which we had said we would not torture ourselves looking at houses that were too expensive, knowing that they would end up going higher. But I was laying in bed at night and I sent it to our agent anyway. I just felt like it would be fun. Like it would be something fun to do while my daughter was at school. And I instantly fell in love with it. I fell in love with the neighborhood, with many elements of the home, with the space, with the flow. And almost more than anything, I fell in love with the energy. There was something in the home that when we walked in, my intuition was just yelling at me that this was our home. It just felt like home. And so, long story short, this home had many drawbacks. It needed a lot of TLC. It didn't have some of the things that we thought were real requirements for us. And my husband had a lot of reservations. But this feeling in my gut, it never went away. It was almost audibly telling me on a daily basis that this was worth fighting for. This was the next phase for us, and it would bring all the experiences that we've been wishing for into our lives. And that's exactly what happened. It was not easy to listen to my gut, though. There were disagreements both with my husband, with our attorney, but I was just so certain. I was certain that this was the house for us. And in that certainty, there was a strength and a security, knowing that everything would work out because my gut was leading the way. There was just this peace around the whole situation that even when it seemed like things were going to fall apart or, the deal was going to fall through and there was just there's a lot of back and forth stress when you're buying a home. Even with all that stress and craziness, there was this just deep clarity and peace, knowing that it was going to work out. Because in some ways, it wasn't even up to me. It was being orchestrated. It was being taken care of. And at the end of the day, we would have our home. And so now 18 months later, my husband thanks me for pushing him so far outside of his comfort zone to get us here, because it did bring all those experiences that we were really seeking. But this knowing can be very scary for women to lean into. For centuries, women have been conditioned to prioritize logic and reason over their intuition. We've been told to downplay our feelings and follow the rules instead. But here's another secret for you. Our intuition is incredibly powerful. It really does hold the key to unlocking greater confidence, making empowered choices, feeling really good about them, and creating a life that you're in love with, because you deserve that. It really unleashes so much magic and makes life really fun. It reintroduces play and helps us to feel more connected to ourselves. And when we do that, it interestingly helps us to feel more connected to the world around us. Because as women, we are very attuned to our environment. We're very attuned to nature, and we're very attuned to the people around us, often being empaths or highly sensitive people. And so the more that we are connected to our intuition, to our feminine qualities, we are then more connected to the world around us. And when that happens, the depth and the richness of experience that we can have in this one life is incredible. It's so nourishing, and deeply satisfying. So, how do you tap into this magic? There are 3 ways today to connect with your intuition. One is to quiet the noise. So you may have known this was coming if you're familiar with me at all. Meditation, spending time in nature, journaling, anything that helps you create space for inner listening is key. So if you did the homework from day 1, you may be in the early stages of establishing a stillness practice. Go you. And this is an important complement to that. It's another intention, another way to bring yourself back to home base in the midst of your busy day. So this is a little separate from just creating that stillness practice. Quieting the noise is giving yourself and your nervous system breaks throughout the day to reconnect yourself, to reconnect to nature, to just shut everything else out for a few minutes. Maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation. Maybe that's your thing. If that feels too slow, maybe it's a walk outside. Maybe it is journaling. Maybe it's reading a book that's really aligned with your values right now. Anything that kind of helps you to come back to yourself for just a few moments throughout the day. Giving our nervous system those breaks is paramount to not just health, but our overall happiness. Way 2 is to pay attention to your body. So our bodies are incredibly wise, and they are sending us messages constantly. Butterflies before a big decision, a knot in your stomach when someone rubs you the wrong way. These are your intuition's signals. Learn to read the language of your body. This can come through in that stillness practice. This can come through in quieting the noise. And this is reinforced again by step 1, which is again, quieting the noise, as we learn to listen and hear our body's wisdom so much more when we create time for stillness, when we quiet the noise of the outside world. We're really asked to pay attention to what's happening within, when we can eliminate those distractions around us. And again, as we learn to read the language of our body, to really listen and understand how it speaks to us, that reinforces our integrity. And it also, again, starts to flex or continues to flex and build our self-trust. So again, those pillars are constantly working to reinforce each other. Finally, trust the whispers. So when a gut feeling hits, don't ignore it. Take a moment to reflect on it, maybe analyze it a little bit, not overanalyzing. And then trust that there's wisdom in that voice. The more you listen, the stronger your intuition becomes. So again, everything is a practice. There's no destination. We're just continuing to be curious and to practice getting to know ourselves just a little bit more. So imagine navigating life with a built-in compass, guiding you towards decisions that truly resonate. That is the magic of intuition. When you learn to trust your inner wisdom, your confidence soars. You no longer need to second guess. You no longer need to seek outside yourself for the answers or consult everybody for their opinions, right? You attract experiences that align with your heart's desires, and a deep sense of fulfillment just radiates from you. It's truly one of the most satisfying experiences I've ever had to live this way. Bonus tip, intuition doesn't always scream. Sometimes it's just a gentle nudge. It can be a whisper. It might even be so small you're not even sure that it's really there. Be patient, learn its language. So connect with it, create that dialogue, and trust that it's always there for you. Now, the world needs your unique voice, your authentic light. By tapping into your intuition, you become a force of nature, living life on your terms. So after these trainings, I'd like you to go forth and trust the wisdom within, because you've got this. If you're ready to go deeper, I have an invitation for you to join us for group coaching, which is being offered virtually and in person. And the link to find more information about that is included in the email below this video. Thank you for coming on this journey with me of exploring the pillars of empowerment. It's been so much fun for me. I hope it was beneficial and fun for you as well. I hope you've gained valuable insights and are ready to embark on a journey of unleashing your most confident, fulfilled, and authentic self. Please continue to share your questions and thoughts with me on Instagram, and I'll be cheering you on every step of the way.